I trained the woman who stole my promotion. Then I watched her beg me for help, and I said no. Let me back up, because I need to know if I'm the bad guy here. I'm 34. I've worked at the same logistics company for 9 years. 9 years. I started in the warehouse, moved to dispatch, and for the last 4 years, I ran the routing team. Not officially. Officially, I was a senior coordinator. But everyone knew. When a shipment got stuck, they called me. When the software crashed at 2 in the morning, they called me. When a client threatened to walk, they called me. My manager, David, used to tell me I was the backbone of the department. He said it so many times, I started to believe it. He also told me, more than once, that when the team lead position opened up, it was mine. Just be patient, he'd say. You've earned it. It's coming. So I was patient. For 4 years, I was patient. Then last spring, the company hired someone new. Her name was Priya. Sharp, friendly, good with people. I liked her, honestly. She came from outside the industry, so she didn't know how our routing system worked, and David asked me to train her. Show her the ropes, he said. Get her up to speed. And I did. I spent 3 months teaching Priya everything. How the software worked, how to read the carrier reports, which clients needed hand-holding, and which ones you could push back on. I gave her my notes, my shortcuts, the little tricks I'd built over 9 years that weren't written down anywhere. I sat with her for hours. I answered every question. I was proud of how fast she was learning. Because that's what you do, right? You help people. Then in June, the team lead position finally opened up. The one David promised me. I put in my application that same day. I already had the speech ready in my head. I'd been rehearsing it for years. 2 weeks later, they announced it. They gave it to Priya. Priya, the woman I trained. The woman who, 3 months earlier, didn't know what a bill of lading was. I found out in a group email. Not a phone call, not a heads up from David. A group email with a little celebration emoji, congratulating Priya on her new role as team lead. I read it 4 times. I thought it was a mistake. It wasn't a mistake. I asked David to talk. He closed his office door, wouldn't quite look at me, and gave me this speech about how Priya had leadership presence and fresh perspective, and how I was so valuable in my current role that they couldn't afford to move me. He actually said that. They couldn't afford to promote me because I was too useful where I was. I asked him about all the times he told me the job was mine. He said, and I'll never forget this, I don't remember promising anything specific. I remember. 4 years of specific. I walked out of that office and I felt something in me just go quiet, not angry. Quiet, like a door closing. Here's the part that matters. Priya got the title, but she didn't actually know how to do the job. Not the hard parts. She knew what I'd taught her, which was the day-to-day stuff. But the routing system had layers. There were failovers, manual overrides, client-specific rules, a dozen things that only lived in my head. Things I'd planned to teach whoever got promoted, as part of handing off my old work. Except now that person was Priya, and I didn't feel like teaching anymore. So I stopped. I didn't sabotage anything. I want to be clear about that. I never touched a shipment. I never deleted a file. I never lied. I just stopped volunteering. I did my job, exactly my job, the job listed on my contract, and nothing more. When someone asked me a question that wasn't my responsibility, I said, you'd have to ask the team lead about that. When the 2 a.m. calls came, I let them go to voicemail because answering at 2 a.m. was never in my job description. When Priya messaged me asking how the manual override worked, I replied, that's a team lead function now. You should have access. She didn't have access to the knowledge. That's the thing. The access was in my head and nobody had asked me to download it. For the first few weeks, nobody noticed. The department ran fine on momentum. Then the cracks started to show.